then I got to boot camp. I found out there's 3 types of people that join the Marine, right? You got your legacies, right? You know your legacies, the family heritage, everyone's in the military, right? Choice. Then you got your fucking nerds. I want to prove something. I got bullied my entire fucking life. This is my opportunity to become something, right? And then you got your criminals. I have no other thing to do in my life. This is the best way for me, right? Yeah. I don't know what category I fit. I have no one in the military, so that's kind of gone.
It's always a hybrid option there.
Yeah. And then, like, I was too broke to have video games. And I didn't even know what Dungeons and Dragons was. So I get, criminal. That's what it was. It was a lot of criminal activities. That was fun.
Speaking of criminals, welcome back to Vegas Veteran Voices, the podcast where we do things a little bit differently. Today, we're sitting down with Dean Goble, Director of Philanthropy at Black Rifle Coffee Company and retired Army Green Beret Warrant Officer. Let's talk about the Special Forces Foundation.
To clear up the record, I did recently step down back in September.
Okay.
So, yeah, and we can get into that, but had a lot on my plate. So I kind of had to, take a step back and help manage that. That work-life balance was really eating me alive. So
yeah, he's only 28 years old.
Yeah. I like this guy.
Dude, it's important to have that work-life balance, though. If you're going back and forth and stuff, because after 20 years in the Army as a Green Beret, it catches up with you. Like, you can't keep going. So I respect that you said you need to take a step back.
Yeah, and I tell, and I'm kind of a hypocrite in some ways because I tell so many people getting out, like, yeah, enjoy your time off. Mm-hmm. And I was the exact opposite. I'd be saying that maybe to some point of being like, well, I can get ahead, and but when I knew I was officially retiring, I was just scared to death that I would not have anything to do with my life.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went full turbo, and I was taking on anything I could find, any extra job, any networking event, conference. I tried to get there just to build it. But then I quickly realized that I was outrunning my headlights. And then, with the Special Forces Foundation, takes a lot of bandwidth. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like there was a certain point that not only was it good for me to take a step back so I could spend more time with my family, but at the same time, I didn't want anybody to suffer because I just didn't have the time and resources to be able to put more into it. And so the good news is I brought in Mark Mallory, who stepped in for me, and he's a retired command sergeant major out of 10th Group. He's going to take the Special Forces Foundation to a whole nother level that will far exceed anything I ever did. So I'm really excited to see what he does with the organization.
Hell yeah. Train your replacement type shit. We love it.
Yeah. And he already came in and he was identifying other problems and initiatives we could get after. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. So
yeah. That's good that you're able to do that, because sometimes it's hard to take a step back from a project because you've been in it for so long. And then you're like, man, and then someone starts saying what you could have fixed. You're like, fuck. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
And it was really difficult to step down because it's just, especially, for myself being a Green Beret, it was one of those, I always took it personally. When you have another Green Beret or their family in need, it's not something that you can just be like, well, there's an organization. Well, you are the organization. And if you don't do something, now, granted, that's not completely fair because we're pretty blessed in the Green Beret side. There's other Green Beret Foundation, the Special Forces Trust. There's other really great organizations and nonprofits that help support. But at the same time, it's just, if you don't get after it, then that family may suffer. And so it was kind of hard to kind of back away from it. But I knew that I needed to, especially when I took on the full-time position with Black Rifle Coffee Company. That really started to consume my time. And then retirement activities that I'm sure you guys are familiar with. Just getting out of the Army is not an easy task. And so I wanted to make sure I did all my VA stuff and everything else. And it was just really eating me up. When I realized that when I started working Sundays, it'd be like 6 o'clock at night on Sundays, I'm responding to emails. I knew I probably had a little bit of a problem. I needed to take a step back.
It doesn't feel like a problem though. That's the thing. Cause you're like, I'm being useful. I was not this useful while I was in, right? Cause there was a lot of, let's see, you were Green Beret and I was with infantry.
Yeah.
And, there's some downtime and you feel like you're not doing jack shit sometimes because you're doing the hurry up and wait.
100%.
He's Navy. He's mopping these.
Oh, no, yeah.
He has a job.
You always have something to do.
Doesn't matter what's going on. He had something to do. But Yeah, and then you get out, and then you're just like, all right, do. And then another thing is like when you meet civilians, and their work ethic is not up to par.
Yeah.
Well, I know really good civilians. I really do, right? But not all of them are. A lot of them are just clocking in and clocking out, and they have like no forward movement thing.
Yeah, that drive and that grit.
Yeah, they're cool with their paycheck and they're partying on the weekend, and that's as much as their life aspirations go. But
yeah, and seeing like me too, sometimes at a fault, I'm the polar opposite. Like if I join whatever organization, I'm in it at that point.
Same.
Like I'm one of those people that I go fully into it, and even I'll spend my own money if it helps benefit, or I will, take. I'm like, hey, you don't pay me on the weekends, but I still got to get this stuff done, and I will, kind of deal. Yeah. Exactly. Now, granted, I'm getting better at that because saying all that, once again, being a complete hypocrite, it is very important to kind of take some time to your family, because I spent a lot of time away from my kiddos when I was younger, and so I'm trying to some degree make up for all that. And my oldest is 18 now, so here any day, he'll be going off into the world to do his own thing. My youngest is 16, so right behind him. So that window's shrinking very quickly. And
what about the 7 in between? How old are they?
What's that? Yeah. We don't want to talk about those. You're not recording, are you? So, no.
My oldest is 19.
Nice.
He joined the Army, and he wanted to go the Green Beret route, but apparently he failed the eye test, so he's a combat medic in D.C.
Oh, that's still really cool, though.
It's kind of weird, though, because he's like 6'2".
Yeah.
Like, this coming.
Wait a minute.
Right? Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's actually my stepson, right?
Okay.
So he's like half Cambodian, half Lao, 6'2", really deep voice. He's like an anime character or a K-pop star, right? And now he's also a doctor too. I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna tell you this right now. Don't date. Don't do it. It's not good for you.
You say he's out.
Focus.
He's out in DC.
He's out in DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta head out there. Next week? We're going out there for the Army Navy game. So.
Oh, nice. Everyone keeps talking about it. Maybe we should probably go.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, pack it up. Yeah, we're supporting the Travis Manion Foundation this year with their tailgate. So I've honestly never been, so I'm pretty excited to see it for the first time. It's like, don't judge me too harshly. I watch football, but I can name like 3 players. Like people who are just like, yeah, this guy and these stats. I know he's a football player, but. So I probably won't watch too much of the game, but I like the social aspect, and I just love seeing all the veterans come together. And if you're not familiar with the Travis Manion Foundation, once again, another amazing nonprofit that does a lot for the community.
I'm the same. The only sports I watch are people punching people in the face. I can't do
like those.
Yeah, those are the best, right? Unpopular opinion, I like the women fighters more than the guy fighters because they're not rolling around. They really actually want to smash each other's face.
Yeah, and and it always comes up to that. So I watch some of those, and I'm just like, it's just amazing to watch them just go. I fatigue out just watching the fight. Like they're a minute into it, and I was like, I knew if I threw like punches like that for a minute, I'd probably throw up when I went back to the corner, and they just get right back up. And I'm like, their cardio has to be on like off the charts.
Oh yeah, it's a Black Rifle coffee that they drink in the in the back.
You need caffeine to be going that hard all the time, though.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So, how was your transition process going from being a Green Beret to getting into Black Rifle? Fill in the gap in between there a little bit.
Yeah, so I've always been a big fan of Black Rifle. I liked what they did for the community, and I always knew that I wanted to continue to serve in some degree. And so the Special Forces Foundation is where I kind of really bridged that gap and started to learn, the business aspects of it, how to run a nonprofit, and how to talk to for-profit and commercial organizations. Because at the time, if you tell me like, hey, this is my chief marketing officer, I'd have really no idea what that meant.
Yeah.
And so I needed that. But so once I knew decided I was going to retire, I was looking at all the different things, and there's some great stuff out there. The Honor Foundation has a great transition program. There's so many of them, and but I decided to do the DoD Skill Bridge.
Oh, nice.
So I called Black Rifle, and I was like, hey, can I come in through the Skill Bridge program? And it was awesome because it was beneficial for both organizations because they got me for free because the DoD continued to pay me as a soldier. So they didn't have to pay my salary, and then at the same time, they kind of got to see like, hey, will this guy fit the mold of what we want him to do in a business? So felt like it was like a good, relationship of you get to test the waters with me. And then likewise, because, you can see a lot from the outside, but once you're actually in an organization, and I really wanted to do that too. I wanted to make sure that when I did move into the next organization, post-military, I wanted to make sure that it was something that I would be happy doing. Because, I mean, to some degree, it's not like I have to work. I have my VA pension and my retirement, so it's not like I have to be out there grinding or I can't make bread. So I really prioritized happiness because, what is it? The rules of three, you get you either get the salary, the location, or the time, and you can only have 2 or 3 of them. And so me, I definitely wanted to keep the location because my son being in high school, I didn't want to have to move around, but Black Rifle allows me to work remotely from Colorado, so my son can finish high school there. The salary obviously was not that important to me, and I like the time aspect behind it because it's a lot like being in the military at Black Rifle. I mean, we go and sit around in a meeting, and there's the Marine, and there's the Navy guy, and there's the Air Force guy, and there's and so it's just I love the transition into it. But the transition for me, and maybe I'm very fortunate, but I thought it was pretty easy. Like everybody was always talking about clearing CIF and turning in all your equipment, a whole horrible process. I was in and out of there in like an hour. Some guy was like, yeah, give me all your stuff. And I walked out. So administratively, it was pretty easy to do. And then, but once again, coming full circle, I just, what was really important to me on transitioning is I really didn't care what I was doing as long as I was with people that I wanted to be with doing it, if that makes sense.
100%.
That was by far the most important thing. I didn't care what it was. I was like, I'll help sell coffee. I'll go do whatever, mow lawns, work, whatever it is. As long as I had a good crew with me, everything else is like great. And vice versa, though. I mean, like you could have the best position in the world for an organization, but if you don't like being around the people, to me just sounds like complete misery. And so I avoided that at all cost.
Yeah. And one thing I've noticed with people transitioning out, the people who have a harder time are those who did between 4 and 8 years, just because RHP rank has privileges. And that transition process for someone who did 20 years is completely different than someone that's just did one and done, called it good.
Pointing right at me. Pointing right at me, yeah.
Absolutely.
No, it's 100% true because you're doing your first 1 to 4 years. You're not really going that high up in rank. So you actually get the camaraderie that isn't really that normal when you go up higher. Because I remember when even I got out of E4, when I was in E4, it was like either people were moving up to sergeant or they're getting the hell out. It was like, I just got a bunch of boots that don't know what they're doing. And that was a little bit too crazy, so I could stay in. So,
you were in a cult, so.
It is a cult. It is a cult. There's only 4 branches, right? I mean, there's only 2 branches of the military, the Army and the Navy, right? That's you guys. Then you got your corporation, which is the Air Force, right? And then you have your cult, the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And we never change.
No.
I still tell people I'm 250 years old.
Yeah, that's fair.
You got to drink a lot more water to make sure you get rid of the wrinkles.
Absolutely.
And wear the short shorts. All the time for no reason.
We do have a lot of Marines over at Black Rifle. Our CEO, Christopher Mons, is a Marine. John Blank, Logan, Clint Trial. So they're all great, man. They
have no idea who we need their last names. What are their last names?
Yeah. You look them up. They're good people.
It's like just last names in the Marine Corps. You're like, I know that guy.
Yeah. I only bring them up because it seems like all you Marines always all know each other. And I can relate. It's literally, in the special forces realm or in SOF in general, it's just, even if you don't know them, I can be walking down the street and I'll look over and then he'll look at me and I'll look at him and I'm like, I don't know who you are, but I know who you are. And then, it's
them through that in Philly. I was like, I wonder where my people are. Rah, 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 rah. And you just hear, rah, 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 rah. There they are. Yeah. It wasn't the missing eye. It was that guy right there.
Yeah. God, I've never seen so many drunk Marines in one place. And yet the streets were completely clean afterwards. They picked up all of their own trash. The trash that was there when they got there was still there.
It was.
All the new trash, gone.
Yeah.
It was funny. After the Marine Corps birthday, because we were in Philly for November 10th, it's like you had bags of trash piled and like on the side of the just on the sidewalk, just right there. All the beer bottles and liquor and all that. Everything was nice and clean. Like, I don't think anyone asked for that. You just see the trash guy in the morning, like, this is freaking awesome. Go Birds.
See, I love it, though. I mean, like, one of our charity manager, Victor Perez, is a retired Marine, and his attention to detail, and he's exactly what you're describing is him. Like, if there's something we have going on, and I'm just like, hey, Victor, can you take care of this? It's not only taken care of, but it's like, here's the 3 different checklists that I built on top of it, and here's the exfil plan. And I'm just like, geez, man, I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Different kind of life. Though.
It is.
Different kind of mindset.
Yeah.
And they really...
And his professionalism, I love that. He's always very kind and, and just like very professional, but at the same time, we'll walk up to you and say, this needs to be fixed, so I really appreciate that. And I see that a lot. I got to give the Corps, the tip of the hat on that, because they do held a very high standard when it comes to that.
There's no beating around the bush in the Marine Corps. Like even our friend Jessica, right? Mm-hmm. I did something that was kind of foolish online, and she hit me up directly to tell me what it was, but she did it in the most professional manner. I was like, thank you for that. And she knows I need you to talk to me. I don't like that, hey, I need to talk to you real quick, because I'm already irritated the moment you say that. Like, hey, can we talk for like a second? Like, what?
Yeah.
Now, Major, I like to say, hey, fucker. Right? He's very Navy. He will tell me sometimes, because he told me something like, if you're too moto in the Navy, it's like it's something. But he knows how to talk to me.
Yeah,
we took up their gym the entire time while they were mopping.
Yeah, the Navy is that weird branch. Is if you're super motivated,
I hate you.
They're looked down on. So like,
really,
yeah, like in a weird way. Like if you're like, "Hoo yeah, shipmate."
Oh, I want to kick his ass already.
Yeah, you got to scale that down a little bit. Yeah.
Never even that branch. I'm just like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
But I had a question for you guys. Like, how's the podcast coming? I'm not intimately familiar, but I looked you all up and everything. But how's it coming along?
Well, the great news is that we actually landed our 501c3 for our entire production on Veterans Day, right? So like our friend who opened up her bakery on that TSB bakery, like 11/11, that's our birthday for our actual nonprofit. So we get to actually talk with people like yourself and other people who are doing great things on our nonprofit. It's great. So that's been our passion forever. It's like actually highlighting people who are doing great things. And that's what the fun thing is. Like going out and trying to find people who are doing great things. It's kind of like a search sometimes, because like you said, everyone likes to go into contracting. Everyone likes to, I hate the public school system because it talks about go to college, get a good job, and then that's going to be your purpose in life. But we're given all kinds of skills and we're given all this drive and everything else. Why don't we pursue something? And I love to talk to people who are pursuing. I thought it was crazy that he wanted me on his podcast, which is this podcast, because he meets me for 5 minutes. Like, you should go on. I was like, you realize I do the most outlandish shit. All the time, right?
That was the selling point.
That was the selling point for him. Like last night.
I'm in.
Like last night, I get called up from the guys from China, like, hey, can you help out? I was like, what is it? It's like, we're helping out the families of convicts and getting them Christmas presents. Like, I'm in. That's something I'll just do that drop of a hat. No one knows what I'm doing half the time. I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
Well, I love that you're in Vegas too, which seems like, there's because they had the MCon out here not too long ago with Waco Hoover, good people, and then SHOT Show. I mean,
I love SHOT Show.
And then one of my buddies, Jimmy Pew Pew's out here. You guys know Jimmy?
We know.
Love Jimmy.
You guys know.
I'm with Jimmy at least 3 times a week. I'm not as often as recently, but since I've been back,
everybody knows Jimmy.
Everyone knows Jimmy. Yeah. Jimmy,
he's quite the character too, but he has such a good heart though. I like what he does.
He honestly should have his own show.
He definitely has the character for it.
He does. And the outfits.
Yeah, that's fair.
With that, we're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we're going to dive a little bit deeper in what it's like to be a Green Beret. This segment is supported by Spec Ops Water. So Spec Ops Water is built by the movers and shakers of the industry. It's military, first responders, police, and every single can, 25 cents, is donated to first responders and veteran nonprofits that are vetted and about the cause. So thank you again to Spec Ops Water. We really appreciate you. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm going to cut this later. All right, I went too far. Welcome back to Triple V. All right, we are getting back into the action of this whole thing. That's a fantastic hat, by the way. Did you get it this week?
I did. Yeah, I purposely didn't bring my hat just so I could buy one here.
Oh, yeah, that would be what I was thinking. I actually got this in Memphis the other day. Nice. Someone stole my other one. Everyone saw me wearing it. I was like, I need to get another one. Beale Street seems correct, the correct place to do that. I was putting people's stickers, so I have a bunch of friends out here who have like businesses and all that, and they have little stickers. Jimmy being one of them. Yeah. I'm just going to all major places, just sticking stickers on everywhere. The White House didn't appreciate it. No,
he gave you a couple weird looks, huh?
Oh yeah, we messed with Secret Service quite a bit. I mean, I'm like twice their age anyway. I'm like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Get me in jail? I don't care. It's like 3 hots and a cot. Shit, I don't give a fuck anymore. Guantanamo Bay is closed down. Supposedly. Yeah. Supposedly. Allegedly.
So, speaking of hats, did you choose the Green Beret life, or did it choose you?
Ooh, good question. It chose me, I believe. That's a good question. My first tour, when I was in Iraq, we were responding to this unfortunate incident where VBID blew up a bridge, and I was out there and I was on the radio and I was calling in the medevac, and this black SUV comes up and these guys get out in these kits and stuff, and they just look like operators, and they're like, "Hey kid, you'll need this smoke." Like in really raspy voices and stuff. And I was like, who is that? And so one of the guys were just like, they're special forces. I had no idea what that meant.
Just Copenhagen up.
Yeah. So once I got back from the deployment, I went to the SF recruiter. But to be fair, I was, young and dumb. I didn't know exactly what it was. I just knew that it sounded like something cool, and that was literally enough for me. And then I went and tried out, and luckily I made it. And then I got orders to go to good old Fort Bragg, North Carolina to start training.
Nice.
And then, the rest was history. But so, I guess to some degree I chose it, would be fair, but I had no idea what I was choosing is, I guess, what I'm trying to articulate.
So you nailed it first try.
Yeah, I was lucky. Yeah. I was definitely never that superior guy, but I was always the gray man. I was always right there in the middle, and every single course I've been to, I was never your honor grad of stuff, but I was never on the bottom. I was just your Mr. Consistent. You knew what you were getting from me every single course and school I went to or deployment.
The funny thing with it has nothing to do with what you could perform. It's all about the mindset, because the mindset's what's more important than, are you going to keep showing up? Are you going to do it? Because I ended up doing the sniper indoc for 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, not by choice. It was not. I was in Afghanistan with them, and I came back. You do that 30-day leave after you get out, right? And all of a sudden I get back, I have orders to do the indoc with 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines with Banshee. I'm just like, I don't want to do this, but it's also orders. So I'm like, I have to do it. I'm like, this is, and so I go over, I found one of the guys. I'm like, why'd you do this? Because I love you. I want you to be one of us. I'm like, oh my gosh. All right. But yeah, it was the same. It doesn't matter if you suck at shooting. It doesn't matter if you are okay with working out. All that shit can be trained. The thing you can't train is the mindset.
Yeah. And that's, humbly, I think that is, what I did really well. And what I tell people today who, that talk to me and they're just like, hey, I'm going into the special forces. Do you have any advice? I'm going to selection and everything. And, they got this thing down to a science. So if you go into this kind of like, hey, very egotistic, all about me, they're not looking for that, and like I was a Robin Sage walker, for one of the times, and the 18 Delta that was setting there, because they had the movement of like, I don't know, it was like 12 or 15 miles in, and they all sat down on the side, and you could just tell they were all hurting, and rightfully so. But, but the 18 Delta was sitting there, who's our medic, or their medic. And I told him, I was just like, hey, you're the medic. You don't get to set down. I was like, there's all these guys here and you need to be checking on them. And I could see it click in his brain oh yeah, you're right. That's what I have to. So yeah, and then after that, I don't even know who the kid is, but after that, every single time I saw him at stops, everything, he was doing the right thing and taking care of people. And I was like, see, that is exactly, I was like, nah, you're ready to be a Green Beret. Like you figured it out and you got it. But that's, in my humble opinion, where assessment and selection really comes into play.
Yeah.
Is where they identify those personality traits that we're really looking for, because if you have like the really high performer, but he doesn't care about anything else than himself, that is, in my opinion, the definition of like that toxic leader that you'll find in the military.
A ribbon chaser.
Yeah, they'll crush everything you send them to do, but they'll kill and destroy every other pathway and relationship along the way.
How many bodies could I put down to climb a ladder, right?
Exactly, and so it just doesn't work really well in special forces, and probably in most often even conventional forces. Like you don't want those types of leaders. And if you can find that sweet spot, obviously, if you can find the guy that's a high performer but then gives a shit, then you really, those are your legends.
Yeah.
But
I actually didn't make it in because my ego got in the way. We did the land nav, and I was really good at land nav. That's like an egotistical thing to say right there. But it was easy to triangulate on a map and shit like that. But I couldn't find the things. Turns out they didn't put anything out there. They just wanted to see if you would quit.
Yeah,
you're right. And I fucking completely gave up on myself and quit. Right, and they really disappointed them because they thought I would just keep going and going and going. Because the physical stuff, I don't give a shit. You can ask this guy. I don't give a fuck. You can put me through any physical thing in the world, and I will keep going. Right, it doesn't matter. I was not allowed to lead the PT for the Marine Corps more than once.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm gonna come up with shit, right? I'm surprised people pay me for it now, but that's just I love it, right? I love to see how far the body can go, but when it came to the mindset of the whole thing, I wasn't ready yet, and it has haunted me for, gosh, what year is it? 20. It's like 2011.
It is not 2011.
No, 2011 is when I quit.
Yeah.
2011 is when I quit. It has haunted me that long, so I think about it all the time. I was like, what would my life look like now?
Yeah, and to be fair, I was the polar opposite. I was never the physical stud. I was the one that I felt like, humbly again, is just I tended to make good decisions and make sure that everybody was taken care of, and I just had the mental, like I had the grit.
Yeah,
I was one of the guys that just would not stop. I would be slow and to the painfully slow.
Yeah.
But I would just always keep going, and I was just physically strong enough to always just keep up, because in special forces, obviously, I mean, these guys,
you don't want to be jacked.
They're complete studs.
They can do everything. Yeah.
So when I would run like a 13, 2 mile, they'd be like, that's kind of slow. I was like, is it? Is it really? I was like, it's probably better than the other 99% of America, but yeah, but in that realm, it is slow. When you have guys that are just flying or just going, and you should see the next generation too. It just, it's always easy to talk shit about the next generation, back when it was hard.
Yeah.
Dude, you go to some of the gyms and see them, they're just over there power cleaning 225 like it's nothing. I'm like, Jesus. I was like, they're just monsters. I was like, but I'm just like, but at the same time, I was just like, well, it's cool for me to retire because, you got that next generation coming in, it's hungry, and then they're very smart too. I got to give them props. Some of them are stupid, but in different ways.
It's a different kind of stupid.
Just the same way.
It's ADD kind of stupid. Exactly. Like I know everything, but I forget instantly because I could just learn it again because it's on my phone. So
it's just stupid to me because it's just a generational difference.
It is.
I'm sure my generation before me said the same thing.
Yeah. See, I've always cared about the problem I think I have, and you might agree with me, is like I get too hard on myself sometimes. So like if I feel like I'm not going to do enough for everyone, I will just drop, right? And I don't. It's like if I'm not going to give you what you need, it's like stepping down, like we were talking about earlier. You have to step down if you don't think you're the right person for the job. Not necessarily true. I'm not the right person, but I'll fuck myself up times, But that's what kind of happens when you're a high performer. You give a shit and you want to make sure you're good for everybody else. And I think I learned the most of that by being a father. Being a father, you always have to put out, right? And
Absolutely.
You don't have a choice. They're kind of stuck with you. You have to keep feeding these guys.
Yeah. Legally, I can go to jail if I don't support my kids. So
legally, yeah.
And even though one's 18 now, so I'm kind of on the fence with him. I'm like, but no, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Did you tackle him? I did that to my son.
I did.
Yeah. It's like 18 years old. You're like, all right, let's talk. You wait for that little lip real quick. You're like, you're an adult now, so I guess you're paying rent, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I got lucky. I have 2 really good kids. They crush it, so.
And one crappy one.
Is that, you have one crappy
one? One crappy one. I was like, I have 2 really good kids and just one asshole.
Yeah. No. If anything, it just always surprised me on like, they're not as, when I was their age, I was a little more outgoing. I would do some crazy shit.
Kids are not outgoing.
Not at all. Sometimes I'm just like, sneak out of the house. I was like, I'll actually be kind of proud, but they don't. They're like, no, why would I ever sneak out?
I blame the internet. I blame the internet.
And I blame vape. All right. Yeah. Like I would talk to some of the guys from the Marine Corps. They're like higher up now. And they're like, you go to the smoke pit and all it does is smells like strawberries and cream and peanut butter. He's like, I just quit. I quit smoking just so I didn't have to smell these guys anymore. He's like, I can't even bond anymore. This is just disgusting. It's like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm saying this while he's hitting vape in between. Smell like peaches and cream. It's not even a 90s R&B album over here. Okay.
Good album too.
That was a good album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who was that.
Peaches and cream?
Yeah.
No idea.
You don't know?
No, I can't remember.
Yeah, he was more of an emo kid. You should see some pictures. We will post those pictures up for everyone to see.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was an
emo kid, too.
You were an emo kid, too? Well, who's your go-to band?
What's that? My Chemical Romance. Yeah.
That's savage.
Yeah,
I like Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance. Yeah.
Oh, man, that unlocks a whole different side of my life before the service. God, I was in bands. I was traveling the country, and I feel like I learned a lot prior to doing that, getting into it.
This explains the mobile podcast now. Yeah. Now I'm starting to think about it. This explains a lot about Brenton.
Yes. We'll get into that later offline, though.
Offline, yeah.
That's awesome.
But going back to what you said, accountability buddies are important.
Yes.
Having those people that keep you checked in, keep you on track, and also help you with business. It's a wild statement, but it's just keeping yourself on track, having someone to keep you going and going forward. So I got you, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, I have him calling me out. I have Jessica calling me out. I have some random... Oh, I almost said something. There's some people in my DMs who call me out, and I'm just like, I don't need this, but thank you. But I always appreciate it because it means you are cared about. And I think a lot of us, especially when we get out, it's hard to realize that we actually do matter to people. Right. And that's one of the reasons, like, I'm in Emerging Vets and Players. I do all the things for mental health. Like, I just did the Silky Hike yesterday. The whole point of a Reverend Warrior's Silky Hike is to get everyone together so they can fight against it. Just remember, like, you matter to me. I matter to you, and we want to keep going because it's hard. It's
absolutely awesome, too, because, once you're a veteran, you're always a veteran in my book. And I think it's important to take care of our own. Like, granted, like you mentioned, MVP, there's so many amazing organizations, not even veteran organizations, but veteran or organizations that take care of veterans. But at the same time, I've always felt that it is absolutely needed that we take care of our own because it's what we did when we were in. Why wouldn't you do it when you get out? And so that's the reason why I'm kind of a cheerleader sometimes. Like I was talking about the Spec Ops water, never heard of it until now, but I love every time I hear about a veteran coming out with a new product or, hey, I'm starting up this business because I just like to see our community be successful.
And plus it's good shit.
Yeah. I told him I was really disappointed that their competitor with the little skull on the side did the waterboarding video commercial already. I was like, this is the perfect one for waterboarding right here. You ever been waterboarded with Mountain Dew?
I've not.
I have. It's not fun.
And we're going to cut to that right now.
Our Teach Me segment. Strawberry lemonade.
Why Mountain Dew?
Just available.
Yeah, that's usually
because I worked at.
That's what I was going to go with.
I worked at a counterterrorism school. We had to get like waterboarded once every 2 months or something like that because we're waterboarding all our students. We can't just be dicks. So it's like
I had no idea.
Yeah, so it's just like, all right, here we go, and then just like someone was like, "Who's drinking this? Fuck it." All of a sudden, you feel the carbonation go in the nose, and you're just like, "Oh wow!" And I hate Mountain Dew because it reminds me of the smell of a truck stop bathroom cleaner. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, why do people drink this?
I definitely hate it now. Getting waterboarded with it. Yeah.
What is that? Industrial cleaner? Technically, yeah. All sodas you can use to clean stuff. So, yeah.
Same with Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You can clean a penny with that all day long.
I can't remember what soda company said it, but someone tried to say that they found a rat inside their soda, right? And the company came back, it's like, that's impossible, because if a rat was in our soda for more than a week, there wouldn't be a body. I'm like, why are we drinking this? It's like, that doesn't make sense. I'm not going to say what company because I forgot, but maybe that's a good idea too.
Yeah.
All right. So what kind of things does Black Rifle Coffee do, like in the nonprofit sector? Like, how do you guys give back?
Oh, in so many ways. I mean, roughly off the top of my head, we work with about 90 different nonprofits annually. But now, granted, that's very scalable. You know, some of that is as easy as us just donating coffee or in-kind donation to, you know, just help support an event, to a full-scale activation where we're integrated with the branding of whatever the event is, the marketing behind it, obviously participating in whatever it is. So it's full scale. But you know, like more recently, you know, we did one for Vets Week, you know, where we had a goal to eliminate $25 million in veteran medical debt. You know, we blew that out of the water. We ended up doing $34 million.
Hell yeah.
Which was really awesome. So, you know, so philanthropic and mission focused efforts like that. You know, over the summer, we did a really cool charity, a celebrity softball game where I think it was with supporting Folds of Honor. We ended up raising collectively altogether $670,000 that went to children of the fallen, which I thought was really cool. So it's kind of all the way across the board. You know, just recently with merging vets and players, we did the Salute to Service game. And then what we call the Rise and Grind out at the Star at Frisco, where we bring out a bunch of veterans. We do a big community workout, which is cool. But then afterwards, we did the Salute to Service game with a good organization called Beyond the Call. They bring out World War II and Korean veterans, and then we celebrate them during the game. So
real
stuff like that's really cool. Yeah. Yeah. You hear some of their stories, and you're just like, I didn't do anything. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I would have earned the Medal of Honor. And he was like, oh, it's just another Tuesday. I'm like, okay. You know, but
I always think of what is it? Saving Private Ryan, that guy just carrying around his arm, just like, fuck, I got to figure out how to sew this shit back on.
Yeah.
10% disability.
Yeah, we were a little bit all over the place. And then to not, you know, because it's also very important, we also support first responders as well.
Absolutely.
So police and firefighters, or the whole gambit. Because, you know, in moving into 2026, and we did a much better job this year, but I want to improve it as well as doing more for first responders moving into next year as well. You know, because talking to some police officers and firefighters that work in Chicago, I mean, they've seen more combat than I ever did. You know, I mean, it's like a daily occurrence for some of them. And so I really wanted to do more to take care of them throughout the nation. So I need to rack my brain and talk to the bosses and see what we can do to kind of make a bigger impact to support them next year.
You ever heard of the Wounded Blue?
I have not.
So the Wounded Blue is like the Wounded Warrior Project. My cousin, she was a cop over in Arizona, and she had to medically retire. She got shot like 9 times. She killed the guy who shot her, but she speaks for the Wounded Blue all the time. Right. So it's very similar. I'll connect you guys. They're over in Georgia, but her entire life right now is just going and talking and doing the things. Yeah. And so, yeah.
Because I always see them, because we put a big emphasis on supporting, like if there's obviously can't do them all because we're not a disaster organization, but if there's a natural disaster throughout the United States, we do our best to always go out there and at least keep everybody caffeinated. So we'll go find the headquarters and be like, hey, you guys don't have to worry about energy drinks or coffee. And then our local outposts, most recently during, why am I skipping on it? On Hill Country, down there at, why am I skipping on the name? Right there by Bernie, Texas. The hurricane that came through there.
Irving? No. Which hurricane was that?
Dang it. Why am I?
Don't worry. I'm in
Kerrville. In Kerrville, Texas.
Kerrville.
Yeah. So they had some massive flooding down there, and it was a big disaster. And so we had our outpost out there, and they all did a big collection run of supplies and resources and then brought those in. So it's great to see an organization that just cares about that. But the point is not so much about us, but seeing all the first responders and everybody who is out there 24/7 until, everything is recovered, and looking for bodies and everything that's so important to be just a small part of that, just to simply be able to be like, hey, we'll just help supply you guys. And it is and it's always really appreciated because when they see us and stuff, they're super excited about it, and it's, makes you feel good too. And it's just very heartwarming to be a part of causes like that mean a lot to the community, because we truly give a shit about helping support the communities we're in. And that's just another way we do it. Yeah. So to answer your question, those are just some of the things we're doing from a philanthropic and mission side of the house.
Hell yeah. But don't downplay it. Morale is not a small part in those situations where shit hit the fan. To have someone that comes in and is like, hey, we care about you. Even caffeine's really important in those go moments. So I definitely appreciate that you guys are out there and doing that, because that means a fuck ton.
Yeah. We responded and helped out with the Hurricane Helene that happened out in the Carolinas. And full transparency, that was something that I was a little bit worried about. Because I was like, these people, a lot of them just lost their homes and their livelihoods. And here I am showing up with coffee, and they're going to be like, look, Dick, I don't have a house and you're bringing me coffee. I couldn't have been more wrong. They were ecstatic. They're just like, yeah, dude, thank you so much. And then everywhere I went, they were offering me food. And I'm like, I'm here to help, not you help me. So the people there were amazing.
That's a very Southern thing.
Yeah.
My house is ripped up and all of a sudden you're still trying to feed me. I'm like, how are we cooking this? I'm down though, Yeah.
Yeah. To your point though, it was just one of those things. It was really enlightening to see that. And of course we brought more, here's propane and water, and we did our best to help support that community too. But yeah, we're just a little all over the place. It's definitely not this big corporate gambit thing of, it is simply like, hey, what are we doing to get after helping first responders and veterans throughout the nation? And if it's something good and obviously vetted, we take that pretty seriously, because unfortunately not everything's created equally. So we have to do some vetting to make sure everything's on the up and up. But if it's good, then we put as much bandwidth as we can behind it.
Fuck yeah. So what are you doing in Vegas? Because I know that ties directly to it.
Yeah. So, we were here for Cowboy Christmas and the NFR, obviously. But we wanted to take it a step further. So Rocker, is one of our ambassadors over at Black Rifle Coffee Company. And so for every second he is on the horse, we're donating $2,000 to the Special Operations Warrior Foundation.
Get some duct tape.
Yeah. He's crushing it right now too. And so I believe if he does every single ride, and I never do math in public, but it'll be $160,000.
That's what's up.
And then if he wins gold, we pledge to donate $320,000 to SOWF. So once again, everything we do, we try to tie in like, well, hey, if we're doing this or this, how can we tie in a give back effort to help support, veterans or first responders? And this is just another example of being out here in Vegas and doing that.
Got to go to Cowboy Christmas next year.
Next year?
Next year.
I mean, I have a media pass. We can just go in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's the first time I've ever been to it. And there's a lot of people,
There is a lot of people.
But I loved it, and it's always great to just see the people who come by, and you can just see their eyes light up when they see our booth and stuff, because that's what we're really passionate about, is just, we want to be more than just obviously we sell great and amazing coffee, but at the same time, how do we take it a step further? And we want people to know that, hey, what we do is take care of people, and we truly are passionate about it. And we're just a bunch of veterans and civilians who, take that very seriously, and we feel like we do a pretty good job at it.
Yeah, I mean, the coffee was the platform to do other things. It's like, I can't stand it when sometimes that's the platform is just it,
Yeah.
They never do anything with it. They're just, doing everything. So it's good to hear that you guys are actually finding ways to kind of go out there. And hopefully we can definitely do the same, which is what we're trying to do. We highlight so many people who they're trying to up and coming and all that. Like we have friends who run restaurants, and they just need some optics. And sometimes that's all you can do to just make sure you can help them out with whatever platform you have.
Exactly.
And there's so many things. Like, we were really blessed to go across the country and really go
absolutely working on the documentary that we can't talk about yet.
We're not talking about
We're super excited for it.
I like how he brings that. I wasn't even going to say documentary. He's just like, we're documentary. We're not going to talk about. But just going across the country and meeting awesome people. Like, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I went to a coffee shop that's ran by a bunch of veterans and bounty hunters who literally go after people who hunt children, like people who like prey on children. Yeah. And we're sitting there drinking coffee with these guys. They make really good coffee too, by the way. But I just remember the guy gets a call. We got a beeline on Jason. Like 3 of them get up and they have their rifles already. I'm like, okay, cool. And the barista's just like, I wish I can go. You want another affogato? I was like, I would love another affogato.
Yeah,
actually, I love vanilla. So, yeah, but that's just, you get to see people like this that you wouldn't normally see, and like no one knows about them, you know. So it's like you get to highlight them, talk about them, and just go out and go do it, you know.
Yeah, I agree. And that's it. We try to use our platform because most people, you know, if they see the logo and stuff, they know what Black Rifle is. So we try to tie in, because sometimes, to your point, just giving an organization that exposure is worth more than money.
It is,
you know. And so we always try to like highlight some of the great causes that other people are doing, to say like, hey, you know, if you're looking to support an organization and this fits what you're looking for, you know, check out these guys, you know, which is cool because there's a lot of them, you know, and it can be hard to decipher through all of them. You know, but there's a little something, and then that's a good, you know, good point to bring out the veterans, because so many of us, you know, get out and like, hey, I don't have any resources, and sometimes when I hear that, I was like, then you need to Google, you know, like there are so many, whether you're into hunting or fishing or whatever your jam is. There is probably a nonprofit out there that supports that. And not only do they support it, they want to support you. Like if anything, if you give them your cell phone number, they may harass you, is how much they want to support you. You know, maybe not across the board, but the ones that I've worked with, you know, they do a really good job of reaching out. And then they continue to reach out too. They're just like, hey, we got another thing. You want to be involved with this? And, you know, just step into it. Like, what was the one, the regiment, you know, that's in the gaming. You know, I was like, that's a great idea. You know, a lot of veterans like gaming, and so they just became a 501c3, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know, there's a gaming veteran nonprofit. So if you're into that, you know, they give away a PC and stuff. I was like, that's kind of cool. You know, I was like, so there's something for everybody.
Last time. Yeah. I haven't played a video game in like 3 years.
I've been trying to beat the 4th or 5th Assassin's Creed for like 4 years now. So
I think
I played for about 10 minutes.
I think I still play Fallout New Vegas. That's a 360 game. I'm like, oh, you know, you can't really beat the classics though. I mean,
you know, and my reaction's not where it used to be. I tried playing Call of Duty. What was that, like a few months ago or something? And my son was playing it, and I was like, I'm over it. I guess this is it. I didn't even know. I just, you know, like I got my rifle, and I was like, oh, there's somebody, and then I dropped.
I'm so lazy. I'm a sniper. I'm just like, bam, got you, bitch. Every single time.
Yeah. I wish I need to see once again full circle that work-life balance, you know, and back into that.
It's difficult. That's actually one of the things that I used to use to bond with my kids when I had a bodyguard company, and like I wasn't. You do all the admin work, and so I was like, "What am I doing?" Did all the admin work. I had my guys out. I guess I'll play some games with the kids. You know, that was actually really fun.
Yeah. The Nintendo Switch is my jam. You know, like I'm not trying to brag here, but I'm pretty good at Mario Party.
Rah.
So, you know, I'm still undefeated to my children still to this day.
Who's your driver?
It's that Mario. Yeah.
Mario.
Yeah, Mario's my guy, so I always pick Mario. So, yeah, Mario Party, Mario Kart, those are more of the old school, I guess, games. Yeah, that's my jam.
All right. God, don't say old school. You're going to date me.
Yeah.
I grew up on that shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't remember. I think I played Metal Gear.
Metal Gear?
Actually, you know what? The very first game I ever played was Fallout 1. My grandma bought it for me in 1998 thinking it was a kid's game.
Nice.
It's not a kid's game.
No.
I learned about crop rotation and radiation poisoning really fast. And then I realized if I get everyone together, I could fuck that guy up over there. So I'm like collectively convincing people like, listen, this guy sucks. It's like, all right. You get with me, we'll split the money, we'll rob him. I was like, why am I playing this at 8 years old? Not a good idea. Been a Fallout fan ever since. So.
It is a good game, though.
It is.
Yeah.
Trying to explain it to like the younger kids, they don't.
Yeah, they came out with didn't they come out with the TV?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I need to watch it, but I haven't seen it.
You haven't watched it? It's my daughter's favorite show.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like the 11-year-old, she was watching. I was like, we were playing this when you were 6. Yeah. Again, we're just that generational thing. We just keep giving adult games to kids, apparently.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat and Fallout, that was the thing.
Yeah, that was my jam. I liked Mortal Kombat when I was a kid. Or like Contra. the old school arcade games. I always like those. Is it down, up, left, A, B, select, start, right? For
I have
the cheat codes for them to get
something.
Yeah, I think that's it.
You press buttons, things will happen.
Somebody will correct me, but I think that's
there's going to be one guy in the comments. He's going to be pissed.
Yeah. It's like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
That is my favorite thing about the comment section. Sometimes you get that one guy who just has a stick up his ass. You're like, I like this guy. He has no idea what he's talking about. He didn't even watch the full episode. You like look at the watch time. You look like he went 1 minute. He was like, I have a lot to say. Like, fuck this guy. It's like
yeah, the old internet warriors, man.
Oh yeah, now we're gonna do 2 years mandatory service. You got to do this again. This ain't gonna work. Mm-hmm. He tells me I'm not allowed to say too much because I will play that for a long time. I love spam callers. I'll see how long I can keep them on.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Record hour 45.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good because if you don't cuss, they can't hang up. Mm-hmm. It's a fun time if you really.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah, I remember I used to. Well, this dates me again, but you remember when you had a phone at your house, I used to hand it to my son.
I do that too.
And then he would just sit there and kind of,
hello, hi.
Yeah. Then one day he brought it back to me. He was just like, they're asking for you. And I was like, of course. I was like, good move, man. So I heard the guy out. I was like, you talked my son into bringing the phone back. I can appreciate that.
You have some skills. Yeah. You ever work for a coffee company?
Yeah.
So what's going on in 2026 for your projects? What do you got going on?
No, good question. We're building those out as we speak. Obviously America's 250th birthday is coming up next year. And, at Black Rifle, we celebrate America every single year, but we get to get a little bit creative. So one is, we're going to see what the White House and other organizations are planning to do to help support them from a philanthropic standpoint. But if I'm being honest, it's a work in progress. I don't think we've locked in too many things yet. We definitely want to do something huge, over the 4th of July, and then see how we can incorporate a little bit. But no big plans as of yet, at least that I'm aware of. I'm sure the marketing team probably has a whole calendar and a bunch of stuff. I just don't know what it is, but we'll get behind it.
Is it the same in Black Rock? You said it's very like the military. Did you drop shit on you? Like, I guess this is what I'm doing now.
Yeah, I mean, to some degree. I mean, definitely. And I love that because I would not be great at having like a 9 to 5, the same thing every single day. I mean, that's not how it is in special operations. I mean, obviously you want to be able to plan out and be organized as possible, but I love the ambiguity that comes behind it where I don't know what I'll be doing next month. And that's a bit of an exaggeration. I know what I'm doing next month, but in a few months from now, we may come across this and be like, hey, this is an amazing opportunity. And it's not one of those, well, it's not in the plan, we're out. It's just like, this is awesome. This supports people. We're in. And then we just make it happen.
See, I hardly ever do that too. I never plan anything. Like if I make plans, it will come up. Like right now, like what are we doing for the brain thing? What's it called?
We're doing TMS therapy for
nice.
supporting brain performance technologies, which is on the south side, and just letting other vets know, hey, this is an option. Mm-hmm. And we love to see like something like that for them. And they're going through different programs. They're talking to some of the people in like local politics right now to see if there's any way they can get some of that cost shaved down if they don't have it. Because they have it at the VA, but it's nice to have another option.
Yeah. And with it, it's like we're going to be here for like 30 days. So 30 days, I know I can't leave town, which is really difficult for me to do. I got a friend who's calling up. It's like, so you're stuck? Yeah, because I want you on the DART team with the Samaritan's Purse, right? Dangerous area response team, right? I'm like, I am down. He's like, no one wants to go to Gaza. I was like, I only want to go to Gaza. I was like, where else you got? He's like, Sudan. I'm like, I'm down for Sudan too. He's like, no one wants to go. I was like, why does no one want to go? He's like, it's dangerous area response team. I mean, I don't want to go someplace where I'm going to be useless. I want to go where no one else wants to go. That's always me. But yeah, he called me up, and if I had nothing else going on, I'd probably be there right now just for the next 3 weeks, just somewhere. And it's like you feel like you need to do something, and it keeps us sane in a weird way.
100%.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, there's like what was it? I was at the Veterans Exploring Treatments and Solutions Gala, a few weeks ago, and what they're doing with, the psychedelic treatments and stuff. And while it may not be for everybody, I mean, it's always great to have options. And everybody that I've spoken to who went through their treatment, it seems amazing. And I don't know the specifics, but I know that Texas and maybe in California, they recently passed a bipartisan law to help support that.
Yeah.
Because right now it's currently illegal.
With psychedelics?
Yeah.
In Texas.
I mean, there are some legal avenues to do it here. Like I know up on the reservation, there's a church that runs it, and they get veterans to go in and do an ayahuasca ceremony and a psilocybin ceremony. It's only for vets. But I know a lot of people have had a lot of success from it. And then out in Arizona, there's a nonprofit called Soul Miners that assists people with a psilocybin treatment. And then they have guided meditation and therapists there if you want it.
Oh, that's cool.
The Grunt Style Foundation was telling us about it too, because they actually have like a whole event every September that talks about all these things. And
oh, nice.
Yeah, so we were discussing that because they go to maybe the Rosebud Reservation in South Dakota,
Yep.
And they do like sweat lodges and everything that comes with
cool.
that for veterans, and it's pretty cool. So
yeah, it's always good to just have options because what helps on one person may not. Now, granted, everybody's always looking for the silver bullet. Like, hey,
it's going to be different. For everyone.
Where's the magic green pill I can take, and everything is perfect, and that doesn't exist. At least I don't believe it does, and putting in the effort afterwards, because what I see a lot of people do is regardless of whatever the treatment is, they just get it done and then they go right back into whatever, kind of path they were before. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, you really got to break that brush. And, once you get this treatment, if it works really well for you, that's just like the beginning, bro. Like now you really have to make those life changes, and even if they're small. But on the vets, portion, like all the feedback I've heard has been pretty great.
And yeah, because mindset comes first. If you go into a treatment and you're not ready for it, it's not gonna do shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and once again, I probably need to sign up and go do it myself so I can speak more intelligently behind it. But talking to a lot of people who have done it, they said it's given them a fresh perspective on life, and a lot of them seem to be doing a lot better. So when I hear and see that kind of feedback, that's when I'm just, I'm just like, hey man, like how do we invest this and take it to the next level? Maybe not even monetarily, but how can we just give it recognition or, get it? So, because a lot of the times what happens is there are amazing treatments and solutions throughout the nation, but then you go and talk to this veteran and he's describing the exact treatment that about, but he has no idea it exists, and so just being able to push that out just to kind of get it across, because like podcasts and everything, we spend a lot of time bullshitting, which is all awesome on a bunch of different topics. But, being able to hear podcasts when I hear, like my ears perk up was when they're just like, yeah, they're doing this new experimental drug treatments that are helping veterans. When I hear stuff like that, that's when I catches my attention. And I start kind of digging it in, try to get some testimonies and see if it's legit.
And there's some good shit out there. Sometimes it has nothing to do with like taking anything. It could be racing a car at 180 miles an hour on a track till you get that PTSD ran out of your body.
Yeah. Resilience Racing is a smaller organization that builds vehicles for adaptive veterans, so they're missing limbs and they go and retrofit the vehicles so they can drive them. And I was like, that is awesome. It's like, that is pretty cool. Especially on the Western culture, people getting into horseback riding or just learning how to ranch. They're just like, this has been so therapeutic for me. And they're just like, I'm addicted now. Like, how do I buy a horse? I'm like, okay.
You don't, you steal it.
Yeah.
Not in Texas.
Yeah.
Not in Texas.
Not in Texas. But,
yeah, that reminds me of the episode we did with Clayton over at Red Tails Racing.
Yeah.
And he got you in that racing sim.
I suck. Here's the thing. I
found out you're not a racer. Then.
I could drive really well if I could feel the car. The simulation, it makes you actually focus on driving because you actually have to look at everything. Because I drive by feel.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I'm hitting everything. I'm like, I didn't feel the wall going here. But yeah, the only thing that can happen is if Clayton came up behind me like this, just.
Yeah.
It's the only way that would work. And he was not in the mood for that.
He wasn't in the mood.
He was not in the mood for that. I had a whole joke for him. He did not like the joke.
No.
I was like, so if you can dodge a wrench, you can drive a car? He's like, no, that's not how that works. Throwing it out there,
Yeah. Sarcasm wasn't this thing, huh?
Yeah.
He takes racing very seriously.
Yeah, and apparently he's a huge fan of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, huge fan.
Go Birds all day
Go
long.
Birds, Clayton. Go Birds.
He hates it when we say that.
Oh, really? Okay. It sounds like an insider joke. But
Oh, yeah. Because we like to send him the episodes later on. He'll be like, you sons of bitches. I'm going to block you on everything.
was he a Bears fan or something? Or
No, what is he?
Steelers?
He's going to kill me that I don't know.
I'm going to say Bengals fan. I feel like he wears orange, you know?
The Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland, I keep forgetting that's a team.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, Cleveland.
But yeah, there's a nonprofit for everything for a vet. You know, you have Gold Star Gamers that helps Gold Star families get into esports gaming. You have the Dark Horse Lodge, which was our last episode, to where it gives combat veterans a 5-day retreat where they can talk and have those fireside chats that you don't get to have that same release in therapy as you do sitting aside from someone who had that same experience.
Exactly.
I love that place. Yeah, Gretchen is fantastic. I'll give you the contact information. It's
Please do.
Middle of Springfield, Tennessee, like right outside of Paris. You know, the other Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Apparently, you're not allowed to climb it. But no, yeah, she was her son was in my deployment in staying in Afghanistan. He lost his life, and she invested all her time into preventing us combat veterans from committing suicide. And so it's a beautiful facility. Everything has been donated there, and she just needs the optics, and it's her house is like attached to it, and then she just had 25 acres of like land that she just decided to develop on.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's beautiful. It's like it was a gorgeous location.
And they have like a cordon bleu kitchen.
Yeah, it's like a cordon bleu style kitchen.
5-star, top of the line. Those the nicest cabins I've ever seen in my entire life, and I grew up camping.
Mm-hmm.
And an axe throwing that they just got cut down a big ass tree. Like, we can throw axes at this, and I'm like, all right. You know what I found out? I can't throw axes. I can't throw it at all.
Driving and axe throwing is out.
Yeah. You know what? Just give me a rifle.
There's a lot.
Give me a rifle. It's a lot of stuff to do. Yeah.
I'm still sad you didn't get in their cold plunge at 40
I wanted to. It was no time and no camera. I'm joking. It's just no time mostly. He was like, we have to get this we were competing with the sun, right? Because it's an outdoor facility and we're trying to get the cameras up so we could do the podcast, but the sun was too, ironically, if it's beautiful outside, horrible for camera work. It's absolutely horrible. So we had to wait until the evening to kind of get everything done. So we're just kind of scrambling around, but just hanging out with Gretchen and just seeing her vision and all that, and realizing her passion for combat veterans. She said her on the episode, if you got to watch it, like she went there to see the doc who was with her son, couldn't save him. He was holding all that intensity and that guilt, and she was trying to tell him, like, you did everything that you could, right? Cool. And then when she was coming through, because we had the memorial service, we had like 25 of the combat crosses up there up on the flight deck, and I still remember that. It's very vivid, like all the time. But she was looking at each one of us, and each one of us had that look. And she's like, we got to do something. And so she just found out any way possible to get it up. And it's an awesome place.
Very cool. I'll check out that episode for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll text it to you.
Okay. Yeah. I love watching that kind of stuff.
So to wrap us up, is there anything we didn't talk about that you would like to talk about?
No, I think we got over most of the topics. Yeah. Yeah, the biggest thing is just, I just will close it by simply saying is just the exposure to everything from for-profit organizations to nonprofit organizations. If you're veterans and our first responders, like getting awareness to what they're doing and then supporting them, once again, in Dean's opinion, I see a lot of hate online these days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, some people deserve it, and that's rightfully so. But man, I truly appreciate when I see things that are kind of going viral on just like the next generation of veterans who are, doing entrepreneurship or getting into this or check out this resource. And, I like to see that propagated throughout the socials because I try to share as much of it and inspire other people. And not that I have some massive social media following or anything, but just try to give people the exposure to it, because if you just connect one person with a new resource, you might have helped them out dramatically and more importantly, their family, so I would say definitely, continue to do what you guys are doing, because platforms like this is awesome. And I like seeing them kind of come full circle and help support the communities at large.
Well, thank you for saying that. Because like I tell Ronnie, I tell Daniel, I tell Cheeks, our entire team, Vegas Veteran Voices has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with Ronnie.
Yeah.
It's everyone that we get out there and we can help them push their mission. That's the whole thing.
Exactly.
Easy day, done with it. Because I honestly don't give a fuck about me or Ronnie getting a big social media following. That's why I don't even have a personal Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the people that we have on here, getting their stories out. That's why we launched our Stories Over Stigma campaign last week.
Yeah.
Get out there and have that storytelling, telling something that has, it's got a comedic hook to it, but it's got a hook, line, and sinker with that mental health hook to just let people know they're not alone. If you've been through something, chances are someone else has been through that too. You just got to take the time to listen and hear someone else about it.
Exactly. Yep. Nailed it.
Subscribe, please. Support this so we can actually get monetized. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll post his OnlyFans up, so you guys can just watch that too. It's called Only Vets.
Only Vets.
Yeah, I have Only Flans. It says pumpkin flan, chocolate flan. It's all good.
Buy that domain. Onlyvets.com.
Yeah. All right. Later.